Hello and welcome back. This is Getting to Know God. We are using the Children's Bible to read a story every single day because this has 360 stories from the Bible to help us to get to know God better. So today is day 128, Nabal the Fool, which can be found in 1 Samuel verse 25. While David and his men were living like outlaws, hiding from Saul, they kept a friendly eye on any shepherds and their flocks who were nearby. Food was hard to get, so when a wealthy farmer called Nabal gave a feast, David sent messages to him. David sent you his greetings, they said. While your shepherds have been shearing, we have taken care of your flocks. Now we hear that you are having a feast, and we should be glad of any food that you have spare. Nabal scowled at the messenger. Who does David think he is? He grumbled. I've never heard of him. I'm not throwing any I'm not throwing away good food on a runaway slave and his gang of vagabonds. When David heard Nabal's reply, he was furious. Buckle up your swords, he ordered. We shall soon show Nabal who David is. One of Nabal's shepherds heard what his master had said and hurried to find Nabal's wife Abigail. Our master has insulted David's men after all their kindness to us, he told her. They looked after us night and day while we were shearing, and this is how Nabal repays them. Now David may attack us all. Abigail wasted no time. She gathered up loaves and freshly baked bread, piled up roasted meat and dried fruit, and filled skins of wine. She loaded everything onto donkeys and set off, sending the servants ahead of the way. She did not say a word to her bad-tempered husband. When Abigail saw David coming, she got off her donkey and bowed low to him. Please take no notice of my husband and listen to me, she begged. Nabal means fool, and that is just what he is. Please do not take revenge because of his rudeness, but accept these presents as our grateful thanks. David was delighted by Abigail's tactful words and by her beauty. He took the food and solemnly promised that no harm would come to Nabal's household. When Abigail arrived home, she found Nabal drunk and quarrelsome. She did not tell him what she had done until the next morning, when he was sober. His anger and shock at what she had to say, with the efforts of too much food and wine, brought on sudden illness. 10 days later, he died. David did not forget Abigail's charm and good sense, and later he married her himself. What do you think of that then? Sometimes people do things out of kindness, like David looking after the sheep, although we know that David had an ulterior motive to try and get fed based on his kindness. It still doesn't dispute that his kindness to support the shepherds of Nabal's sheep was there. And so as one form of kindness, we should, not for any other reason, but just say thank you. When somebody does something good for you, it should just be a thanks. But I know in this world that is not often the case. I've experienced myself when I've been in shopping centres and I've found a lost child, and the parent almost looks at you with disgust as if to say, why are you trying to do something to my child? When you in fact have stopped the child and called out and said, where is your mother? Or where is your father? There's often very little thanks that comes from the parent when they see that your child is with them and that you're trying to find them and they haven't been keeping an eye on their child. Sometimes people need to humble themselves and just say thank you, instead of passing on their anger for themselves onto you. And that's what Nabal should have done. He should have just said thank you. Of course, anything that we have left over, I will send out to you and your men. Because he's saved, I'm sure, many of his sheep. Maybe there's a time where you or I could have said thank you, but instead we didn't. Instead we were angry. Sometimes we just need to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we make, because we are human, in fact, and defaulted to sin, defaulted to making mistakes. But the blessing is that we have the work that Jesus did on the cross for us, where we can say, sorry, please forgive us. And our sins have been paid for. I hope that blesses you today. God bless.